Alright, what's good, people? So, I've been needing to make this for a while, just like with the rosies. This is the AliExpress jufule SPK lamia clone, fake, counterfeit, however you want to call it. Um, so, it's full titanium, steel hardware, 154 cm blade steel, supposedly rock weld to 60 HRC. And they're just really good knives, you know. Um, so this one is a what I would call a batch 2. This is a batch 1, and the difference is the plunge grind isn't done as well on the earlier models, and some of the hardware was like a shiny instead of a black or a matte finish. And then you can see on this one how much better the plunge is on it. Also on the batch ones, like when he first came out with them, the only version he came out with was this version with the stonewash and the black hardware. This one he didn't have out yet. So batch 1, all you could get was these. Had the worst plunge grind and the black hardware that was shiny, and then a lighter detent, in my opinion. It's not crazy light, but it's definitely on the lighter side, and you can't really move the lock bar over to try to strengthen it without it not coming off right, because all the tension will be from the lock bar instead of the way it should be from the detent ball itself, if that makes sense. So this one right here is actually my daughter's, and my version that looks exactly like this one I sent into Apex Alchemy to do an HRC test on it. And with that one, it had a light detent as well, and I tried to push the lock bar over, and I ended up pushing it too far. And so now you can definitely tell that the lock bar is pushed over too far, and it just doesn't feel right when you go to close it and when you're opening it as well. And I can't really go back on it, because if I do, you end up with blade play, and you know, so I basically damn near about ruined that one trying to move the lock bar over it. And I think it's only on these stonewash ones that you can't really try to move the lock bar over, because on this one I did move the lock bar over just a smidge, and this one had a much stronger detent right out the gate, but now it's like perfect, in my opinion. And my daughter has one just like this one too, bought at the exact same time, and hers has a really good detent on it too on this version with the nature milled pattern. You know, this one was 75, this one was 70, but you can use coupons when they're running them on AliExpress, so you can definitely get them cheaper than that. Like I said, it's titanium clip, backspacer, scales, but hardware is steel. And it does have the markings on it, the SPK and the crew wear. Again, I wish he wouldn't put those on there. It has phenomenal lock bar access, just like the original. And you can see with this one, so it drops to your nail, but it drops on the choil. And then it's literally, I've got it set to where it's like a 2 shake. And it's, gosh, man, it's so smooth. It's just crazy how smooth this knife is. And even on this one, which is my daughter's, which she doesn't really carry them, she just flips them every once in a while. I haven't messed with this one, you know, because it's hers, but it's still super smooth. And this is probably how it was right out of the box, because she doesn't really futz with hers at all. And again, this one actually has a little bit of lock stick on it too. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can't get it to go away on this one. So that's going to be lock face geometry is off on this one. And I think it's because you can see how flat the tang of the blade is right there compared to where the lock bar is meeting it. Versus if we look on this one, it's not quite as flat. So you're getting better contact with the lock bar. It's not hitting it at a point, kind of like it is on this one. Let's see where it's like just that top edge point is grabbing it, you know. And this one you could try to move it over and tighten it up a little bit, but like I said, I damn near ruined mine trying to do that on my copy of this one. So I don't know, if it were me, I would just, the new ones that are out are this same pattern but all gray. So all gray, except for the hardware is stainless, I'm pretty sure. But I would just go with that version. And then the other one he has that looks like this one now has all gray hardware on it, so not silver, all gray clip too, and then the heavy stone wash. But like if it were me, I would just go with the milled pattern. I think it's the better feeling one, even though I really do like the way this stone wash feels because it's super velvety. It just feels really good. But you know, this one just looks cool, you know. You can wheel them out, which is really nice. And gosh, man, he put such an amazing edge on these things. Like this is the factory edge, and I've broken down a lot of material with this knife. Not a crazy amount, but I mean a good bit of cardboard has been broken down with it. And I've maybe stropped it a couple of times, and it just keeps on cutting. And then if you look at this one, like the way the plunge is done on this one, like, gosh, it's done so good. You've got all that life back through there to sharpen off of it. And then you can just see how thin the blade stock is down there. So I think it gets to like 25 thousandths behind the edge is what I measured it at. And then the knife itself, I think, weighs around 3.5, if I'm not mistaken. It is pocketed out on the inside. And then it's a joy to hold and the ergos and to cut with because of this integrated finger choil right here. It's like it's nice and smooth right here. So where your index finger wants to land, so you can get right up on the edge. And, you know, it's a little bit thicker blade stock, but man, it cuts good. And like I said, this one is still on its factory edge. I've stropped it a couple of times, and you know, they're just it's so hard to see to do it behind the stupid camera like this, but so you can see it's just crazy sharp, you know. And this one I'm sure is even sharper because she didn't really use hers, so this probably, yeah, still has the for real factory edge on it. Like this one is ridiculously sharp still, because you know she doesn't really use hers. She just collects them and flips them, and then you know, shows them off to her friends and stuff. Yeah, but they're a joy to cut with, man. They're nice. Even the one with a little bit lighter detent, I don't mind it because I can still wheel it out really nicely, you know. And then, like I said, it's just a joy to cut with and carry. The pocket clip works great, you know. And then, of course, everything on it's a stolen design, you know. But he did build them to a really nice standard, you know. And even the ones with the plunge grind that's not done quite as nice, I've seen some of them where the blade is literally buttoned right up against the plunge. I mean, you could fix that on your own or just sharpen into it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm pretty sure all the newer ones don't have this issue, or at least the ones I've seen in the pictures now, all of them have the better plunge on them. And so this makes it super nice, so you can just sharpen it and not have to worry about it. But like I said, I haven't even had to sharpen mine, and it just keeps on cutting. I just drop it back, and she keeps on going. Like I said, I sent these into Apex, or I sent one into Apex Alchemy to do an HRC test on it, and I'm going to be honest, if it comes back lower than 59, I'd really be surprised, because I mean, it cuts and it's just cuts so good. It's cut so good, and I haven't had to sharpen it or anything, you know, and it's only 154. It's not like it's some super steel or anything, but I'd just be really surprised if these have poor heat treats on them. I really would. Now, I could be wrong, you know. And I sent in a couple other knives to him, like the Lemifshi 3-inch McNees and a Greenthorn Shiro clone, and then a couple of Tucson's. So look out for his channel, and he'll probably have them up here soon. He should be getting them within a day or two. Yeah, if you've got any questions about these, just let me know, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Like I said, if it were me and I was going to buy one right now, I'd buy the Nature Grip pattern, the all gray one. Just to me, the nature grip pattern is it's just done so well. And both of them have the double chamfer on all the edges, so it feels so good in the hand because all the edges have this, so you can see it real good there, this double chamfer on them. So it just is a dream in the hand, you know. And then the same way on this one. It's even more pronounced on this one because you don't have the mill pattern really getting in the way, just the micro milled on this one. But this one's got the micro milling, and then the stonewash just gives it, man, it's such a deep stonewash. He must have tumbled the shit out of this thing. But yeah, super good knives, man. This blue one is my favorite knife in my collection. I own knives that are $400, $300, and I carry this thing pretty much daily. Just because I love the action on it. I love the way it drops. I love the thumb stud, or the the thumb flick and the reverse flick on it. They're both super satisfying. And then the same with the rollout. It rides in the pocket really well. It's a good weight. It's a great size. It's a great design knife, you know. I just wish the original wasn't the prices that they're going for, which are just insane prices, you know. But, you know, he could never, I mean, if they were $385, $450, which is probably what these should have been with the flat scales. You know, I mean, American Blade Works is putting his knives out for that price. Three Rivers Manufacturing is putting their knives out for that price, you know. So when you start talking about a knife like this and you start wanting to charge $800 for it, or maybe they're $700, you know, but that you can hardly get them from him when he drops them. So you have to pay secondary, and secondary on these things are insane. They're $1,200 to, you know, $1,200 pretty much is what I'm seeing them go for. And that's just absurd. You know, that's absurd to me. Maybe it's not to you, and you know, and that's great. But I mean, I don't see $1,200 worth of a knife here. No way, not even close. So yeah, if you're looking to pick one up, he's got them available on there right now. If it were me, I would try to wait until the next sale, which should be, there should be a New Year's sale where you'll be able to use coupons to take some of the price off, and you will have to pay taxes on it. It's usually free shipping, or at least they were for me, free shipping. But I did have to pay taxes. I think it was like $5, you know. And then here it comes soon. We're gonna have the tariffs, and so I believe it'll probably work the same way like it works at the EU. Which at the EU, if it's under $50, you don't pay the VAT tax on it. But if it's over $50, you pay the VAT on it, and I want to say it's an additional 10 to 20%. It just depends on what they make the tariff, you know. So if you're paying $70 for these, and then you've got, say, a 20% jump in the price, so you're going to be paying, instead of 70, you're pushing, you know, 85 now, you know, plus the taxes on it, which are another 5, so you're pushing 90. You're still under $100, I would assume. But if you can afford to buy one now before all that crap happens, I would. And that's going to apply to almost any Chinese knife right now. Yeah, because those tariffs are definitely coming. Trump ain't playing. He's going to put them fuckers back on for sure. All right, if you got any questions, just let me know. Have a good one.